How do 10,000 men survive a suicide mission? Imagine you are trapped 1,000 miles deep inside enemy territory. Your generals just got their heads cut off. You have no map, you have no food, and the largest, deadliest empire on Earth is hunting you down. This isn't a movie script, this actually happened. And the fact that anyone made it out alive is practically a miracle. But to understand how this nightmare started, we have to go back to a family drama that went horribly, horribly wrong. It's 401 BC. The Persian Empire is the superpower of the world. It's huge, it's wealthy, and it has a new king, Artaxerxes II. But there's a problem. His younger brother Cyrus thinks he should be the one sitting on the throne. Cyrus is charismatic, ambitious, and frankly, a bit reckless. He decides he's going to take the throne by force. But Cyrus knows his Persian troops aren't enough. He needs shock troops. He needs the scariest heavy infantry in the ancient world. He needs Greeks. So Cyrus starts writing checks. He hires a massive mercenary army, Spartans, Athenians, Arcadians, about 10,000 of them. These guys are the real deal, heavily armoured hoplites who fight in a phalanx formation that the Persians just can't crack. They march inland, thinking this is going to be an easy payday. They have no idea they are walking into a death trap. Everything comes to a head at a place called Cunaxa, just outside of Babylon. The battle is chaotic, the dust is choking. The Greeks do exactly what they were paid to do. They smash through the Persian left flank like a wrecking ball. They are cheering, thinking they've won the war in a single afternoon. But while the Greeks are busy celebrating, they miss one tiny, catastrophic detail. Cyrus is dead. The guy who signed their paychecks, the whole reason they are there. He saw his brother across the battlefield, lost his temper, charged in like a maniac and took a javelin to the chest. Game over. Now put yourself in the sandals of a Greek soldier. The battle is over. You won, technically, but your employer is a corpse. You are in the middle of modern-day Iraq, surrounded by millions of hostile Persians. This is where it gets really dark. The Persian king, Artaxerxes, wants these Greeks gone, but he knows he can't fight them head-on because they are too tough. So he plays dirty. The Persian general Tissaphernes invites the Greek commanders to a peace conference. He says, "Hey, let's work this out. We'll give you safe passage home." The Greek generals, maybe being a little too arrogant or just desperate, agree. They walk into the Persian tent, and they never walk out. They are seized, dragged before the king, and beheaded. In one instant, the army is decapitated. No leaders, no plan, no allies. Panic sets in. The soldiers are terrified. They are arguing, crying, expecting to be slaughtered at dawn. But then a guy named Xenophon steps up. He wasn't even a general, he was just a volunteer, a student of Socrates who tagged along for the adventure. But he realizes that if they panic, they die. He wakes up the officers who are left and gives one of the greatest pep talks in history. He basically says, "The Persians are trying to scare us because they are afraid to fight us. We are the 10,000. We are a moving city. We fight our way home or we die trying." And so the march of the 10,000 begins. They can't go back the way they came. The Persians have burned all the food. They have to go north, into the mountains, into the unknown. This is where the story turns into an absolute horror show. The Persians shadow them every step of the way. Their archers and cavalry harass the Greeks constantly. The Greeks are heavy infantry. They are slow. They can't catch the Persian horses. They are getting picked apart. So Xenophon has to improvise. He creates the first specialized counterinsurgency unit. He takes the Rhodians, guys known for being great with slingshots, and tells them to use lead bullets instead of stones. These lead bullets fly further than Persian arrows. Suddenly the hunters become the hunted, but the Persians are the least of their worries. You think the desert is bad? Wait until they hit the mountains. They enter the land of the Carduchians. These are the ancestors of the modern Kurds, and they are fierce. They don't care about Greeks or Persians. They just want these invaders off their land. They roll massive boulders down mountain passes, crushing men flat. The Greeks have to fight for every single peak, every single valley. It takes them 7 days to cross this territory, and Xenophon writes that they suffered more here than in all the battles with the Persians combined. And then, winter hits. They are marching through the mountains of Armenia in freezing temperatures. These are Greeks. They are used to Mediterranean beaches, not blizzards. They don't have winter gear. Men are freezing to death in their sleep. Some go blind from the snow blare. Others get frostbite so bad their toes rot off. There is this one crazy moment where the starving soldiers find a village stocked with honey. They gorge themselves on it. But it's mad honey, made from rhododendron flowers. It's toxic. The whole army starts hallucinating, vomiting, and collapsing. For a full day, it looks like a battlefield of dead bodies. But nobody is dead. They're just stoned out of their minds. Imagine the psychological toll. You've been walking for months. You've eaten your pack animals. You've fought off armies, tribes, and nature itself. You don't even know if you're going the right way. But then comes the moment that changed history. The vanguard of the army climbs up a mountain called Mount Thetches. Xenophon is in the back, fighting off a rear guard attack, when he hears a roar coming from the front. It gets louder and louder. He thinks it's a massive ambush. He grabs his cavalry and rushes to the front to save them. But as he gets closer, he realizes it's not a battle cry. It's a chant. Thalatta, Thalatta, the sea, the sea. The soldiers are crying. They are hugging each other. Tough, battle-hardened Spartans are weeping like children. Because the sea meant the Black Sea, and the Black Sea meant Greek colonies. It meant ships. It meant they weren't lost anymore. They were home. They had marched over 3,000 miles. They had lost thousands of men, but the majority of them made it out alive. Now, why does this matter? Why should you care about a bunch of mercenaries from 2,000 years ago? Because this march exposed a secret. It showed the world that the Persian Empire was a paper tiger. It was huge on the outside, but hollow on the inside. If 10,000 disciplined Greeks could march right through the heart of the empire and survive, what could a real invasion force do? Philip of Macedon read Xenophon's book, and his son, Alexander the Great, kept a copy of it under his pillow. When Alexander invaded Persia years later, he used Xenophon's route. He used his tactics. The 10,000 didn't just survive, they paved the way for the fall of the entire Persian Empire. They proved that the impossible was actually doable if you just refused to quit. But it makes you wonder, if you were stuck in the freezing mountains, starving and surrounded, with no map and no hope, would you have the will to keep walking? Or would you have sat down in the snow and given up? Let me know what you would have done in the comments below.